Welcome back to LivAnimated.com. Let's learn something new. We left off with working on setting up our character to be rigged in the ARTv2 system. So what we're going to do is just jump right back into it. Go back to your Maya scene, open up your file, and we're going to open up the last version that we had. I had version 10 as my last version. I believe I had things hidden on layers, so it may look like it's right where we left off, but it may look like everything is not there, but if you unhide the layer, everything else is still there. So we left off with applying the eyes controls and the eyelid controls. What we're going to do now is we're going to put in some eyebrow controls, nose controls, and then finish off with the mouth and tongue controls. So that's what we're going to do with this video. And that should complete, when we're done, that should complete the rig that we need to then skin to, which will be in an additional video, because that's going to take a long time as well. So far, I think the last one was about 2 hours and 6 minutes to get to this point. So now we're going to just work on this for a little bit. So let's follow along and get this finished up so we can start on the next phase of it. What we want to do is, after you have your character loaded, what you can see is that, the tools aren't there anymore. So you can go to the tools and just go to Rig Creator. And it should bring up the tools, and it has all of our stuff still in here that we worked on before. And then we can just continue on. So let's go, and we want to make another joint. We want this joint to be to the head still. The only time where it's not going to be to the head is when we start working on the bottom lip. I think we're going to want to put that to the jaw so that it moves with the jaw when we move the jaw around. But for now, we're going to just put everything to the head. So let's find the head over here in our parent bone list. Here we go. And we want this to be eyebrow underscore left. And we'll do, for naming conventions, we can do like a center outer. So we can do inner. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do inner. Inner, mid. Yeah, inner, mid, and outer. Let's do that. All right, so we'll do create. All right, we'll move this into location to where we want it. Let's go here, open this up. I think I may want to keep the control to be a circle control type, and then the cube. Cube may be fine for now. Yeah, cube may be fine for now, but we're gonna want to rotate this. So let's see, we're gonna want to rotate this where the control is on the outside, meaning that we want to rotate on our x-axis, because we're going to be doing positional stuff with this. Let's see, what is our position on here? Is that local or world? We can go back and check that. All right, it's world. So let's see on our local axes what things will look like. And let's also look at our local axes on rotation. All right, so they're both already on our object mode. And I opened that from up here in the attribute. I think that's what this is. The tool settings, show and hide tool settings. So if we were to move this around, X is down, Y is up. Let's see what the other ones are. I'm just checking to see where the pivots are now. X is down. All right, so that means we should take this and rotate it like that. All right, and then we have Z going out. See, we gotta rotate it again. Nah, let's leave it like that, because I want the control to be facing out this way. All right, so now we just need to move this into location. We're going to want to scale this down a lot. And this is our inner one, so it's going to be right here. And again, we can just, once we get it in the right location, we'll be able to duplicate that over for our right eyebrow. So we'll do this like this. I think I want to have the orientation matching like the line of the eyebrow, like having it go like X pointing in the direction of the eyebrow, the path it's going down. So if it's moving, it's like it's going up right here. You can see like a little ridge, a little peak almost right here from the lighting of how it's textured, and then it goes down that way. So I want X to like follow that. Let me see, when we start moving up, it's gonna go up that way. Nah, just keep it straight, because then we can raise the eyebrow right up. Let's do that. Let's center it and bring it straight up. So there's our eyebrow control. It's pretty close. Let me see if I can move it out a little bit. Are we still on our local? We are. Okay. So now we want to make another one. We want that to be the mid, and we want to put that right here. So let's create another one. So we can go back to joint, and we want this to be eyebrow L mid, and we want to select that is connected to the head. And you don't want to rush through this phase or this pass of doing this stuff, because if you create something and then you have to delete it, you're just opening up a bag of worms. You're going to have to go into Outliner and delete that stuff. So just take your time with your naming. Get everything how you want it to be. And then eyebrow, L mid, and then click create. We selected we're on our head, and click create. So same thing here. Let's match these values. I want this to be the exact same size as this one. So we should use the exact same values. And I didn't use duplicate. I think there's a way you can duplicate stuff as well, but I didn't do that because I've run into some issues with duplicating before. It's not worth the time. It just something code-wise just doesn't work with that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm copying and pasting the channel box values. Let's go to wireframe. And then we just have to do our X, Y, Z for rotation. Let's do the scale right quick so we can get this to be back to being tiny. 0.074. All right. And then we just need, let's move this over right here. We just need to do our rotation. So let's grab this and do our X rotation. Y rotation. And our Z rotation. All right, let's turn back on so we can see the view of the model. And now what we want to do is we want to put this in a better location for how we're going to move the brow, which is going to be right here. And I think I am going to want to move this where it is conformed a little bit better. I don't want it to be just straight up and down like that. I want to do that to this one too. so that it fits better around the face. That looks pretty good. It needs to. Oops. Don't set any keys. Just undid that. Let me go to wireframe. I want to be able to see where that row of verts goes. So it's this line. You might not be able to see it well, but it's this line right here. This line that's going up right here. So I might need to bring this down a little bit. Turn it back, turn it back here. Bring it out a little bit more. I'll do that one like that. Yeah. And then we'll have one more over here so we can go out this way. So we'll have 3 controls for doing the eyebrows. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll make one more, and that'll be our outer. So save your file. Let's save this as number 11. All right, and let's head back over to joint. We want this to be eyebrow L outer. And then select the head. Create. All right, so this is the last one of our group. And we want to pretty much select and put, I can do this like this. So I'm using the snippet tool right now to just grab what the X, Y, Z values are. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just type in these so I don't have to keep going back and forth. The snippet tool is a Windows based software. If you just go to your search bar and type in snip, it shows up. You just put that on your toolbar at the bottom of your computer. It's perfect. It's so useful. So now I can just type these in a lot faster. And so I'm just looking at the values and just typing them in. Now again, you may want to place your eyebrows differently based on where your character is. You may want to add more than 3 controllers as well. It's all up to you. The process is going to be the same, so do what you feel comfortable doing for your character. And then we'll be able to still apply the same practices. 0.074. All right, so see, this is in the same location. We want to move this down to where it's over here now. So we're going to select it, move this over. This is our outer one still. And we want to rotate that way, and rotate this way. And then we want to bring this back a little bit more so that it's it's closer to the face. So we rotate it this way. Rotate it that way more. Trying to make sure it conforms to the axes. I'm trying to make sure the axes is conforming to where the eyebrow is. So when I start moving it, it'll move in relation to where it is. Again, you're going to want to touch these all by hand when you start animating eyebrows and stuff. You should never just let it interpolate into any weird pose. But this is how I like setting up the controls for it, so I know where the axes are pointed and what's doing what. All right. So I think I want to have, let me see. We're still on local. X is pointing down, just keep X down then. So I just want to make sure, I just want to double check these just to see how they look before I move on to making the right ones.